Well, welcome back. Welcome back to the Extraordinary Bass Player Show. Today, today, I'm your host, Cheron Moore. As I said, I always say today. Well, family, got him on the show. Woo, it's a bad boy here, boy. I wish I'd have played with him, boy. I probably would have played like really busy to see if he could stay and stay with me. He'd be like, you're a bass player, give you that look like, play straight, man, play straight. He's a
Oh, put
bad
it
boy.
on.
I mean, I've seen this guy literally take over stages. He's a showman. He's a producer. He's a composer, a musical director. As I said, he's a showman. You might remember him working with bands like Confunction, Charlie Wilson, the Daz Band, Let It Whip, and so much more. He's a session musician. He's actually a preferred bass player, a bassist, if I may say. Will you help me? Hey, how you like that big build up there, EQ, huh?
I love it. I love it,
you help
man.
me, you
It
help me welcome
humbles
my
me
guest
out.
today, bassist Eric EQ Young. Hey, Eric EQ.
Hey, what's up, my brother Cheron? Hey, bro. What's up, man? You staying cool down there, man? It's hot as fish grease up here in Sacramento.
The other side of that, man, this air conditioner costs a lot of money.
Yeah, I know. I turned it off just so I didn't want to make a bunch of noise in here. No, I'm kidding. It's still on.
How you dealing with that heat?
Oh man, I'm kind of used to it, and I like seasonal weather. So I live in Sacramento because I know I'm gonna get summer, I'm gonna get winter, and plus, man, I played in the Middle East and it was 120. I stayed there 10, 11 days playing for the troops back in 2008. So I can't complain. We're not at 120 yet, but we're getting close.
Let me do a little bit of history. So you're originally from the Bay Area?
Yeah, I'm from the Bay Area, actually a city called Richmond. It's kind of a small city. It's like 15, 20 minutes from Oakland. So pretty much, we just call it the Bay, but the city is called Richmond. That's where I grew up.
How did you get attracted to music and getting started? And how old were you when you started playing?
Man, I guess I had to think about it too, man. Probably was Michael Jackson when that I Want You Back album came out, man. So I was destined to give me one of those puff sleeve shirts and everything. And that was my first song, Who's Loving You? I don't know what year it was, but that was my first song I ever sung. I was like in fourth, fifth grade, and it was a talent show, and I had just broken my right thumb. So I was embarrassed that I broke my thumb. So I had a cast on and put it behind my back like no one could see it while I'm singing this song, man. But yeah, Michael Jackson. Then after that, James Brown, to where I started listening to music. Then from James Brown, it was Sly and the Family Stone. So I caught very much my interest listening to Sly Stone. So I was probably seventh, eighth grade. I started hearing about Larry Graham, bass player. So that's what got me into what I'm doing today. Definitely Larry Graham from Sly and the Family Stone.
Tell me, who was the gentleman that you patterned your style after with the hat and the clothes and so forth?
That would be my grandfather on my father's side, David Young, the way you mentioned about. Just growing up, he was always suited and booted, fedora, I said, man, but he was a quiet soul. Just he gave you that look. You know what time it was. So man, I said, man, I want my own style of dress. So, I said, okay, let me study some pictures. And I just looked at my grandfather's picture. I said, man, he's G'd up. I just saw so many pictures of him with the fedora. I said, okay, I'm gonna do that. And I just made a little gangster. I added the little do-rag on it just to put that little gangster on it. But yes, sir, David Young and George Bell, my grandfathers, they're my heroes. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna move forward a little bit, and then I'm gonna jump around. Then I'm gonna come back. Tell me how
Yeah.
Don Cornelius gave you the name EQ.
Ooh, 1993. And this was my second time doing soul training. First time I went on with Michael Cooper from Mike Confunction. So this group I went on with was called Force One Network, and we were signed with Quincy Jones Records. And actually, they had a song on the Boys in the Hood soundtrack, Spirit. David Hollister was the singer. So actually, I joined the band when they were getting ready to go on road. So it was just a collaboration of musicians. So they wanted to break it down and I put a band together because we went to Japan for 3 months to get the band tight because we wanted to do some shows. So actually, we were invited down to Soul Train, and the next single was called Sister Sister. So man, I didn't, we were just talking about. I was excited because last time I didn't get to say my name on Soul Train. So this time we got to be introduced. So we was just thinking about it. I said, man, I want a nickname. I need a stage name. So just collaborate. I had a few names in the hat. So just talking to Don, I said, we settled down to EQ, man. So just to hear him say, and your name is, introduced to the world, this is EQ. So that was born 1993, man. So everybody called me EQ. Even came down to my mom calling me EQ.
EQ, let's talk credits a little bit. One of them I see was Charlie Wilson. How'd you get that gig?
Man, right after the pandemic. Man, I just got a call June 1st. This is 2021. Man, Charlie Wilson called me. I'm sorry, 22. So man, he said, man, I'm gonna go on tour, man. I want you to come take a ride with me. And so no one was working right then. So, and I wanted to do something different. I wanted to experience, that next level, that VIP status level. So, man, just to play at all the stadiums and the arenas that we dream about, all the coliseums, all the basketball players pretty much play at, to where you're playing there and it's just sold out, 20, 30,000 people. And actually to do the stadiums, man, 50,000 people. So it's like a sea of people, man. But Charlie Wilson gave me a call. I was glad I got to spend 2 years with him.
Tell me, how did you get that gig with Daz Band?
People don't know, but actually I started with working with Daz around 1993 as well. So that was a year before I actually joined, because I was playing with Michael Cooper. He's the leader of Function, but he had his solo project at the time. He was a solo artist. So I actually played guitar with him for a whole year. And at that time, he didn't know I played bass. So until he couldn't find his bass player for a show, and I just raised my hand like I'm in school. I said, Mike, I really play bass. He didn't know that. So that tripped him out that I really was a bass player. Then a year later, they put Function back together. So I did 28 years with Function.
me one of the craziest things that ever happened to you on stage. Somebody jumped on stage, guitars, whatever. Tell me one of the crazy ones. How you deal with the women, man? Because you're gyrating like Elvis Presley up there. You in front of stage, you slim, good looking. I know. How you deal with that?
Yeah, I had the underwear thrown at me on stage. Actually, I played at Magic Johnson's concert down in Los Angeles back on Michael Cooper. Uh, so somebody came in front of the stage and threw her panties, and it landed on my guitar neck. That's a trip. And at the time, my wife, she played keyboards in the band with me with Michael Cooper. So she saw what happened and got off the stage. I got to meet Magic Johnson. So the girl came up to me, "Where are my underwear?" I shook them off and left them on the stage, man. So that was one of the wildest. I can't talk about the other stuff, but that's good enough right there.
Let's talk a little bass guitar, a little bass talk. I call it the bottom.
Yes, sir.
The bottom. What do you look for in a drummer? And what do you anchor yourself to with the drummer? Some people say the kick drum and the bass guitar. What do you look for in a drummer, and what do you anchor yourself to in a drummer?
That he know everything about his drums, how to tune them, and man, and that's important. The tuning. Some of them don't know how to tune. I was surprised, but man, just knowing their instrument and their role, it's so hard to be disciplined when okay, I feel like doing something, especially if you didn't create the record. I figured play the song like the record. So if you can mimic that, then add in a little extra stuff. It'll be cool if it fits the puzzle, but really, I look for pocket, man. We have to lock in. We have to be so tight. My drummer, he has to be my buddy. You know what I mean? We got to be able to hang off stage so we could play together like brothers on stage, to stick it. And so I look for timing, dynamics, breakdowns. It's hard to break down when you're playing against stems, but I love the dynamic. You got to break it down. You know what I mean? It's like the bag got to drop with you. So I look for drummers who really know their position, their role. And I love our soldier. If he could sing and play, I love that too, man. But really he just know what he need to do. So he won't make it hard for anyone else because we have to build the foundation. We start the groove for everybody.
EQ, what's your least favorite key to play in and why?
Least favorite key? I guess it'd probably be A flat. I don't think nobody do nothing in A flat or G sharp or whatever you want to call it, but I guess so. 'Cause I never did any kind of solo in that key before. I did solos in every other key, but I haven't did a solo in A flat. That's for some reason. So it's probably a reason why I stay away from that. But a lot of the songs, I guess, too, are not in A flat. A lot of hit records. I look for hit records. That's why I play four string. A lot of cats are playing 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But I'm gonna stay to a four string bass until I hear a hit record played with a 5 or more. So
EQ, how do you deal with, because you're a showman and you're out front doing your thing, you ever get musicians jealous and get the attitude and a little jealous? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, guys, that's fair, Cheron. That might be.
You said I could ask those questions now.
Ooh, oh yeah, I met a few guys, man, and my spirit is retaliation. You know what I mean? So I had to chill out a lot on that.
Staying with the bass guitar, and I'll move on here. Let's talk gear a little bit. What bass are you playing? What amp? What strings? And so forth.
Let's see. Right now, I'm playing a bass mods bass. It's actually a company made in here in Sacramento, and it's my first active bass. I really wasn't into the battery basses to where you got to put batteries in there. I was always afraid of them going out. So I actually took a chance, and bass mods made me a four-string bass. So I do have my own signature bass, which is passive. It doesn't have a battery. So and On the road, I use Aguilars a lot or GKs. You know, there's all on the back line. It's just whatever I order, and I usually just want the best of whatever they could provide. I never tripped on amps. You know, I never chased the endorsement, but as long as it sounds good, because I know how to EQ the amplifier because I learned from Larry Graham and how he presets the amp. So I use his method. You know, add my own. I also have a pedal I use just to add a little flavor to it, but it doesn't make a difference because I'm always dancing around. So I usually pretty much one preset because I'm always moving in choreography. So I don't have time just to stand there and press pedals and do all that stuff.
Q, we do a thing on the show we call Word of Advice, where I ask the musicians, I ask the guests if they would leave a word of advice for the up and coming musicians that are trying to get in this industry, trying to get some traction in this industry, as well as the guys at the next level. Would you leave them a word of advice?
Yes, man, you got to work hard. You do. It's not going to come overnight, and get to know people. Get to know people who play your instrument and other instruments, and just know the ins and outs of the business. That's what you want to learn. Learn the business as well. Don't limit yourself. Oh, somebody else take care of it. No, you should know exactly what's going on, so you won't have any questions later. But man, have a passion about it. If you love it, do it. Man, don't make it be a hobby unless they're hobby players. But if you want to do it for real and make it a living, you know, I've been doing this all my life. So to make it a living is dedication, you know, a lot of hard work and timing, who you know, like I said, it's not what you know sometimes, who you know, and just keep networking and don't burn bridges. You know, same people you see going up, you'll see them coming down and just stay true to you and brand yourself. You know, create your look. Like Cheron, you asked me about my grandfather making me, you know, brand yourself. So when I walk the street, people know, say, hey, that's EQ. I remember at the airport, hey, that's EQ. So I definitely did that. So stay true to yourself and just have passion about it.
So, as I think about it, tell me a little bit about the song Just For You.
Just for you, oh my goodness, relationship song, you know, it's really just for that person who I wrote it for, which was my wife, you know. And it was just the title of the CD that I did a few years back, but it was a personal song. It was a song. It was probably the last song I did write for the CD, and I dedicated it to my wife. Yeah.
EQ, did your grandfather get a chance to see the success?
No, my grandfather, both sides never did. They never knew I was going that route. But my grandmother saw me in the 12th grade, and she passed right before I graduated, 1979. So she got to see me play. She came to see me by herself too. I was playing in my high school gym, Richmond High. Actually, that's where they made the movie Coach Carter. Richmond High. That's the school I went to. A good friend of mine. But yeah, she got to see me play only one time. You know, so I think about them a lot. You know, I say, wow, my grandparents. You know, they saw it in me before anyone. You know, even my parents. You know, because my parents they wanted me to play sports. You know, they really did.
EQ, here's a question I usually ask the guests at the end of the show. EQ, what do you want your legacy to be said, to be told?
Man, that man, I shown people to have a good time. You know, that was my job to take you away from your burdens. You know, because you paid money to come have some fun. So my mission is to make you have some fun as well. You paid your hard earned money on these tickets, and today's prices on tickets, oh, it's ridiculous. But I really don't take them for granted. So I know they pay for entertainment. So dog it, we better entertain them. You know, I'm not one of those standstill guys. I want to see you smile. You're gonna get my funk face. I'll make so many faces on the stage. It's ridiculous. So no, you're gonna get all of me. So I treat every show like it's my last. You know, even with all my nerve damage, You're gonna get all of EQ. Yes, sir, man. So you come to my show, you're gonna have fun. And you need a break just from life. Come on down. I'll take you away for at least an hour. Just have some fun.
Awesome. EQ, let me say thank you so very much for being on the Extraordinary Bass Player Show.
Thank you, sir. Had a great time with you, man. You're good people. I hope to meet you soon.
Very soon. Are you coming to LA anytime soon?
Yeah, I'll be there, man. Big concert, August 31st, man. It's like over, I think, 60 groups, man. Charlie Wilson's gonna be there. Lionel Richie, Diana Ross, Confunction, Daz Band, Barcades, Mary J. Girl. Actually, I'm playing with Mary Jane and Daz Band down at that show. So yeah, I'm gonna have fun that day, man. I'll stay in touch, man. Maybe you could come hang out with me, man.
I like
I'll
that a
see what
lot. I
I'll
like
see
that a
what I
lot.
can do. I'll see what I can do. Yes, sir.
I appreciate that. EQ will help us wave goodbye to all the fans.
Peace out, you guys. Stay safe. Vote. Let's get our country back together. Let's watch out for our elderly. Let's watch out for our brothers and sisters. Love y'all. Thank y'all for having me. And it's all good.
Yes, sir. Thank you, EQ.
EQ tape. Come on, y'all hear me now. Come on.